Alright, everything should be good. Good evening, guys. Today we're just gonna like start grinding the Anomaly investigation level. Gonna try to get to 300 as soon as possible so that I can start finishing the play all the weapon series, but instead of using the title update 4 stuff and sticking to just the 220 investigation, I think it's more suitable if I just updated my item set, you know. No point in sticking to title update 4 stuff, no point in restricting myself to 220 investigations. So right now I'm just trying to farm the level. I found a couple of the materials of the newest Anomaly monsters, which is going to be Risen Velstrax and Risen Chakra Magala that gives the thick blood, basically. I did got a couple of them, and I think I found all the stuff that I needed. I probably just have to farm a little bit more Amatsu stuff. And after I'm done farming the Amatsu stuff, I already have a few Amatsu sets, but right now there's a gunlance that I really want to try, which is like the full burst, the full barrage gunlance playstyle, where you just use the Amatsu gunlance and just spam the shit out of your full barrage. It's really cool. The new Amatsu set is really good for gunlance, like Jesus. Where is it? I must be blind. Oh, here it is. I think I'll farm it in my free time. I think I'll just grind investigation level today, so it's gonna be a shorter stream today as well. Let me see if I have everything done. My current grinding method is just to spam it's just to spam Risen Camellias, because that's like the easiest to grind. Risen Camellias with my heavy bow gun. Oopsie, I clicked the wrong thing. Oh. No! I'm messing up. I forgot how to play this. 340 is really good. I think the most important part is not just that it's fast, but that it's easy and safe, I guess. It's reliable, you know. I don't have to cart. Yeah, 928. If I can get like a higher frame count, that'd be really nice. But I haven't found anything better yet. This is like the best. I actually do have one with a higher frame count and max participation, but I think it's on a it was on a Risen Shagura Magala, so even though it has a higher modifier, I think I was getting about 1,000, like 1,002, 1,003 from that hunt. So even though it has a higher modifier, it still takes about 2 times longer because I can hunt Shagura Magala. I can hunt Risen Shagura Magala in 3 minutes, you know. It takes me like 8-9 minutes to kill it. And not, where is it? Like this one. Plus it's a 1 feint too, so the moment I cut, I have to restart everything too. I can't clear this reliably yet. I'm not good enough. I gotta learn how to fight Shagura Magala before I can like reliably clear that mission. Plus I can use the elemental bowgun. The hit zone is a bit... It's difficult to land the piercing shot on Risen Shagura Magala because I think the only weak spot that he has is the head. And his head is pretty tiny, so... Oops. So when I was fighting against Magala, I either use the spread on the heavy bowgun and I just turtle with the shield, or I just straight up use the light bowgun, which is going to be based on pierce as well. But the pierce light bowgun also has the same problem where it's just really hard to consistently land stuff on him. Although light bowgun is way safer though, because I feel like he has a lot of wide AoE, but if you play the light bowgun, it feels like even with the wide AoE, it's still easy to dodge. Oh god damn it. God, I hate some of the movement on this game. There we go. No, he was about to topple over. I wasted a topple on that. Oh well. No, that was the same speed. Oh, I took longer. I was gonna say that that run was actually better, but I went out of my way to pick up some of the red stuff, so it's actually like 20-30 seconds longer than it should. If it's 3 minutes per run, well, let's say if it's 4, we round it up to 4. If it's 4 minutes per run, plus 1 minute for you to go back to base and re-enter the map, 5 minutes per run is about 10 hunts per hour, more or less, like 10 to 12 hunts per hour. And I get about 50%, 60% EXP, so maybe like I get about 10 to 12 level every 2 hours, something like that. I can probably speed it up a little bit more, but then I got to sacrifice picking up all the red stuff for... Nice! Ah man, ever since the update, I've been core crafting a lot of stuff, so I have no money. Like, I use up all my money. I use up all my investigation coins to buy all the platinum eggs. I bought like 2,000 platinum eggs and used them all. I used all of it. The game isn't balanced. I still have all my essence left. But I'm out of eggs, I'm out of cash. I haven't even upgraded my armor. I upgraded some armor. Just not all of it. I'm so strapped for cash. Usually I would be fighting the Rajang event quest to farm gold. But I noticed that if I just do Anomaly investigation, on average, it kind of gives me like 1 platinum egg each hunt. Sometimes I get 0, sometimes I get 2, but I averages out to like one every 2 hunts, maybe? It averages to like 1 every 2 hunts. No. Actually, now that I think about it, picking up the investigation, thinking back about it, picking up the red stuff, the afflicted materials for new investigation quest at the current level is it's kind of a waste now when you think about it, because they will give you the investigation quest, but the investigation quest is tied to your current level, right? So I got all this investigation, but all of it is like level 240. You basically throw a thunder beater at it and try to hit its head as much as possible so that you can land the stun. You gotta shoot the head though. You can't shoot any other place because the head is where you proc the stun. And once he goes down, just put down the circle and just keep pelting him. You want to try to help him from the circle so that you can proc the wyvern buff. The wyvern riding. If you're attacking normally, I don't think it procs wyvern riding as fast. But if you're attacking through the circle, it procs wyvern riding way faster. And that's kind of what you want to do. Nice. Down. Yeah. There you go. I'm rebuffing myself, but I'm pretty sure that my buff is still there. I feel like it's just a waste. Just keep hitting him so that you're gonna proc his down soon. I think if you do enough damage, which is about now. Ah, god damn it. He should go down. But usually around now, I would put like the Thunder Beater, but I'm trying to proc him so that he bursts like that. I used to have to use the Thunder Beater to proc the down after he enters his rhythm mode, but lately I haven't been doing that because I feel like I do enough damage to kill him before running out of ammo, and I don't really need to proc him down. Oops. Hey, everything worked out fine. I can just pretend the wire and ammo shot him from 5 miles away. It's all good. I haven't made a set yet for my stuff. Oh yeah, I got to show my armor so that people can copy the build that I currently have. I haven't made my set yet because I'm supposed to get attack boost 7, but I haven't finished choosing how to make my new set, basically. This is from the new Risen... Is this from the new one? The new Risen Shagra Magala? Yeah, I think this is the new Risen Shagra Magala armor. And this is the new OPF Talisman. Look at this. Attack boost 3 and a 3-2-1 slot. I haven't finished making my set yet. I feel like I can optimize it a little bit more. Because I want the full shebang, baby. Look at that, I got 3 platinum 8 just now. I skipped it too fast though, but I had 3 platinum 8 just now. So it's actually super efficient to farm this, because not only do you get like Anomaly investigation level, you get like platinum 8 too. 2 for 1. I don't have to farm Rajang anymore. God, I hate that. It's not like it was difficult. I can farm him in like 3 to 4 minutes. It's just annoying, I guess. Like if you don't have like a script on how to kill Rajang, how to kill Rajang in a short time. Basically, you got to burst him down before. You basically got to go to him, pick up a wire bug, open the gates, and try to kill him before the gates go down. But if you don't kill him before the gates go down, like, it's just gonna be like way longer and way more annoying. It's very frustrating to find out. Let's see. Nothing good yet. Actually, if I don't use the blast tool anymore, I can just go straight to him. I should be just going straight to him. I mispositioned my circle. It's fine. It's fine. trip. No. Oh, I was so close to getting it under 3 minutes. If I had my attack boost 7. I'm super excited to make the new sets because I can finally max out all my stuff for all the other sets. When it comes to the new set, I think I have to make my gunland set first. I feel like the gunland set is probably the easiest to make. I think the only thing that you really need to roll for the gunlands is just to try to get powder mine to 3. I also want to replay the gunlands because I feel like all the other monsters, because currently when I try to do the play all weapon series, all the other monsters I can kind of kill it under 5 minutes. All the other monsters I can kind of kill it under 5 minutes, but the gunlands took me like 6 something. It was fighting a harder monster though. I think Squad Anomaly is definitely on the harder side. So it harder monster just takes longer just because it's harder for you to have an opportunity to deal damage basically. Like fighting the new Risen Shagura Magala, he is aggressive as fuck. Like, it's very hard to find an opening to deal damage, so my current runtime for Risen Shagura Magala and Risen Railstrike has always been kinda on the slower end, you know? The fact that I can't cheese the shit out of them with my element ammo build really doesn't help. Nope, I don't want this. I started at 249, 250. So let's see how far I can get into it. Let's see how much investigation level I can get in the next hour and a half. I probably can't go for the full 2 hour. I have something to do later on, so I gotta leave a little bit earlier. But I'll try to get as much level as I can in an hour and a half. I shouldn't pick up the red stuff, Force of Habit. I should only pick them up when I get higher level. Rebuff, rebuff, rebuff. Craft my element fire ammo. He always faces like the opposite place where I want to shoot. That should proc the down soon. And once he... I'm gonna proc... He's gonna cancel his rhythm state right after that, so I don't have to worry about it. He's gonna go down right afterwards. Guess not. No? Is he gonna die before he breaks his risen state? I guess so. Yay, 255! I just got to not pick up shit. But yeah, this is a super fast way to kind of farm risen camellias, basically. If anybody wants to see the stat, I should make it a habit where maybe near the end of every single... Not the end of every single hunt, but like, you know what, actually, I'll just make it a habit at the end of every single hunt to kind of show my set. So that the people who sees the video afterwards can kind of like check it out. Although, if you just catch my live stream, I feel like if you just ask in chat to show the set, I will just show it to you real quick. I could just make a video about it, I guess, so people don't have to try to scroll through like 2 hours of live stream just to find that one thing. Huh? I'll do one more, and then I'll pick up the stuff from the... then I'll pick up the stuff from the mercenary and all that other stuff. I love the new quarry melding. In the past, once you kind of get an attack boost tree, once you get one attack boost tree and a level 2 1 slot, you're kind of done. Like, you just can't get anything better. Once I get my attack boost tree, 2/1/1 slot gem talisman, I just didn't get anything else for the next 500 levels of me leveling up. I just couldn't get anything better. That's just how all of the talisman farming is. It's a little bit different, or it's kind of like the opposite of what it was back in World. Back in World, when you farm decorations, every one new decoration that you get kind of increases your power level by a little bit, you know? Like, if you have attack boost 3 decorations, well, there you go. Attack boost 3, attack 2 talisman, attack 2 decorations. You have attack 2 decoration, and then once you get attack 4 decoration, you just slot that new one in, and now you are 2 decorations more powerful than before. But for this one, once you get like an attack boost 3 talisman, you just don't get anything else better. You just don't... The chances of you getting the next best thing, which is like attack boost 3 witness exploit 2 talisman, is near impossible. You might as well not bother. No, you pushed me too far back. I can't shoot you. It's good that he went into the risen state, so I can start the Wyvern riding real soon. Real soon. Bro. Profango. Bufango, no. Look, I like pork, but whoa, that hit me all the way from there. I forgot how wide that hit. I'm always standing in front of it, so I guess I never really have to pick it from the side before. Haha. Yeah, looking at it, I guess it is that big. Oh, oh. I probably shouldn't have to do that every fight. That feels super tedious. I'll just make a video for it. It does get pretty boring though to do this over and over again. The best farming method is always the one where you enjoy the farm. So if you just want to do it fast because you want to get the next thing to craft your next item, this is a really good way to do it. But what was it again? How did the saying go? If you enjoy your work, you never have to work a day in your life. You know, if you enjoy the gameplay, you never have to grind a day in your life. Similar thing, right? If you play a weapon that you like against, you know, monsters that you like to fight, monsters that you enjoy fighting, the grind will pass through way faster. I mean, obviously, my method is going to get you the most EXP in the shortest amount of time, but like, it's not about the time. It's not about the destination. It's about the journey, right? Nice. Rice gem is actually super easy to farm. I never have problem getting... Well, I have some fights where I get 0 rice gem, but usually it balances out where... like, I fought Prison Shagura and I actually got 0 rice gem for the first 2 hunts, and then the next hunt I got 4 rice gem straight away, so... It feels like it's very easy to farm rice gem. It averages out to like 1 rice gem per hunt, basically. Alright, let's see anything good. Nice. Nice! Powder Mentor 2, I need that. This is pretty meh. 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 Nah. Strive 2. I feel like I can find some good stuff for this, maybe? It is a level 4 gem slot too. Status triggers 3 and sneak attack 1. These are super niche. I don't think... Maybe. Nah, I don't think I need it. I can't think of a situation where I need it. Is this overkill? This is overkill. There we go. Alright. Not bad, not bad. One good deco. One good talisman. It'd be really cool if I can find something like Frostcraft Tree, you know, like anything, Powdermented Tree. Like, if I can get the Guard 5, that's pretty good too. It will free up so much slot for me. Because now we already have an attack 4 jewel, I feel like if I can just get a Guard 5, if I can just get a Guard 5 talisman, attack boost 3 is not that hard to get. Like, I could easily have a 4 slot for this, or I could easily have a 4 slot for this as well. There's a lot of ways for me to fit in. Oh wait, now that I think about it, I think I do have a... Yeah, I have a shield level... I have a level 2 shield here that I can put attack boost. Nice! But then I'm missing... What am I missing? I think I want to take out 1 level of Iron Walls so that I can fit the shield up. Is there anything from Wisdom Camellios that I can't block? Oh, you know what? Nah, I don't think I'll risk it. I think I'll just take it. Alright. I have no idea why I didn't put on an attack boost. Oh yeah, it's because I didn't have the attack boost level 4 jewel unlocked back then when I made the set. That's why I didn't change it. Oh my god, I was gimping myself this whole time. I mean, I don't think it's gonna speed up the thing by that much. It's like what? 3% more damage. Yeah, I don't need the... Oh, I think I caught the topper too early. Because the Viral Ride is going to talk right afterwards. Oh, I guess not. Oh, I guess it is. Oh, it didn't happen immediately afterwards, so that was a good timing. No, it's Sushi. Here you go. I got you, bro. poison state soon, I think. I guess he doesn't have any attacks that needs Scarlet out. Did I have? I don't think I have Gala. Oh wait, I do. I do have Gala. I feel like the one where he kind of shoots the mist that kind of move towards you. That one, he just kind of stands straight and he shoots them, and he shoots like a poison gas, but it's like in a straight line. I think that one was an unblockable attack, so I need to counter that. I think. But it seems like Embolden 3 and Tune Up 1 and Guard 5 is enough to block everything. So Embolden 3 is 30, Tune Up is 10, so that's 40, and Guard Up 4. Guard Up 1 and Guard Up 3 is 10 each, so that's the total of 60, I think. For Risen Kushala, you need 60, but like for Risen Shagura Magala, I need the full shebang. I need Embolden 3, I need Guard 5. Like, Jesus. Everything hits so much harder. And there's that one swipe. There's that one side swipe thing that he does that doesn't get blocked. I wasn't sure what that was. I wonder if I need like flinch free tree for me to not get like topple over from that, or if I just need to face the direction of the swipe when he swipes. I didn't really have a lot of time to test it out. Sorry, I know this is not exactly riveting gameplay. Killing Camellias over and over again using a heavy bowgun. But once I get to 300, that's where I'm gonna start doing all the 300 quests. Wrong thing. For what? I thought I read my dog, but I guess not. I'll just wire back my way through. That's fine. Oh, that's so good. It's very poorly placed. Oh, I wanted to pop the attack out from the attack bug here, but I guess the attack bug gets proc when I actually shoot it. Yeah, this attack. I think this attack is an unblockable attack. I think. I feel like it should be. Or maybe this? Maybe that one is unblockable. No, it was that one that's unblockable, I think. Oh god, it's been so long, I don't remember. Memory bad. I guess it's one of those things where it's like it doesn't happen that often, so it makes you wonder like if you need it. Ooh. I just took out one guard. Jesus, chill, bro. If he had spammed one more of that poison blast attack that does chip damage, I would have popped it right there. Yeah, I think I need guard 5. That's just how it is with the heavy bowgun shield. The heavy bowgun has a small shield, so the heavy bowgun shield is equivalent to like the sword and shield, if that makes sense. It's not meant to be like a huge blocking. It's not meant to be a huge blocking thing like how the lance and the gun lance have it. It's just meant to be like it's just meant to be like an alternative playstyle, I think. But I'm glad they added Embolden, because Embolden allows you to make the shield viable. Because back then, if you only have guard 5 and tune up 1, like that wasn't enough. You still take a lot of chip damage. So the only class that can kind of play reliably is a gluten spread heavy bow gun, where you need to put like some lifesteal, you know, some ability to kind of regain health. And it was super unviable for a lot of the harder monsters too, just because you take so much chip damage, especially with the new Anomaly investigation, where chip damage is pretty much always going to be like 20% for heavy knockbacks and 10% for medium knockbacks. And small knockbacks does no damage, so you're still taking 10 to 20% each time. And for Anomaly investigation, 10-20% is pretty much like half your hit points sometimes. Not half, but like easily like 30-40% depending on like your build. So it's very unviable to kind of play a shield style basically. But now you can play the shield style for... If you want to play shield Pierce, that's actually pretty viable too right now. Or at least I don't see any problem with it. Just because you have enough slot to kind of slot everything in. deal too much damage to it. Oh, it's probably better. I think skipping the Vibrant Rising would actually allow me to do more damage, unironically. Did I miss me? What? Oh shit. Ew. No. I forgot after the explosion he does like the little ball that kind of comes out from it. I'm just gonna eat the powder. I think it's gonna move by the time I go back there. It's about 3 minutes and they move every 3 minutes though. Should I just try to anticipate where he's gonna move? I think I'll try to anticipate where he's gonna move. I think he's gonna move up the area and into this area. I'm gonna take a U-turn right here. Yeah, see? He's going right there already. Oh yeah. Look at my ability to read towards the future. It's just game knowledge, bro. I have all the game, I have all the knowledge, none of the skills. Yeah, fuck yeah. I mean, it's not hard to predict he's gonna move here just because if you're changing area, like, you usually move to the next zone and he's not going to be moving all the way from that tiny hole to the 7th zone, right? So you can either go like, you only have like the 8th zone to go to. I guess you could travel a little bit more upwards, you know? I guess you could travel from the 10th to the 8th and then go to the 7th, maybe, or go to the 6th, or go to the 9th. If he wants to travel 2 zones apart. But they usually travel 1 zone, right? Well, the flying ones usually travel like 2 to 3 zones because they are flying. I do like how zone movement between monsters is way more predictable from the game perspective because it feels really good to like predict that and to be able to move accordingly. No, I'm gonna land before. Oh. I wanted to be in mid-air when it ended, but I mistimed it. But moving in a predictable manner is probably, there's like a downside to it, right? It breaks your immersion because the monster becomes a bit mechanical in the way that they move, I guess. But from a gameplay perspective, I kind of like that. It feels good when there's like a pattern that is that's like learnable, I guess, compared to like something that's too random. I do hate the way that monsters move from zone to zone in Wild Hearts. Ah man. It feels really terrible to fight a monster for 30 seconds and then just watch him fly to the next zone 10 miles away. And then by the time you reach there, he flies again just because he has to switch zone after a certain time or something. I don't know. It just feels really bad. It feels really bad having to spend 50% of your gameplay just chasing down the monster. It feels like shit. I think they changed it though. I haven't tried the new one after they updated it. I hope they change it. Because in Monster Hunter, I can fight the monster for 3 minutes and you can even stop the monster from changing zones by throwing a flashback. Like, it just feels so good to just constantly be in the thick of it. The reason why you want to change zone for monsters is kind of because you want to give player the ability to kind of chill and kind of restock yourself, right? Restock yourself. Kind of like catch a breath for doing things that you need to do. So for some of the classes, you have to resharpen your weapon. For some of the classes, you probably have to like restock your ammo. You got to drink a potion. You got to like pick up some of the wildlife stuff to kind of like regain your footing. So you need monsters to move. Having a monster stay in one single area and fighting you to the death probably feels really bad. No, it definitely feels really bad. So you want the monster to move around. But I think Monster Hunter, the way the monster moves is once every 3 minutes. Every 3 to 4 minutes they will move, which feels really good. It feels like a suitable amount of time. By the time 3 minutes ends, you know, if you have protective polish lasts 1.5 minutes. So in another minute or something, you'll probably lose most of your sharpness that needs to repolish. And if you have Power Prolonger, I think it actually extends the duration of protective polish by a little bit. I think it extends it up to like 2 minutes, 30 seconds, something like that. So you can essentially fight the monster for the entire duration of the protective polish, right? There's probably like a calculation too as to like how often you lose sharpness and when you need to resharpen your weapon. And they probably did like the perfect math to see like, oh yeah, you know, around like 2 minutes of fighting, this is how much sharpness they're going to be losing. So it is now that the monster should move. 3 minutes feels really good. Part of me kind of wish that Wild Hearts can just copy Monster Hunter with the way that the monster switches zone. But at the same time, it's like, if they're just gonna copy, I want them to copy Monster Hunter, but like, rationally thinking about it, you probably don't want that, right? Because you already have Monster Hunter, you know. You don't have to have 2 Monster Hunter. It's good. It's probably better that they try to find their own identity, but it's just that this one particular aspect just feels really frustrating to fight. That's all. I like how that's my only complaint is that it's not the fact that the monsters have no downtime or any other bullshit like that. It's always, oh man, I just wish that I don't have to chase the monster down. It's just not fun. It's just not fun to run, to spend half my time running around. I just want to fight. I just want to fight the monster, you know. Going. What other stuff? Maybe like a little bit of downtime, I guess. Whenever I fight monsters in Monster Hunter, it feels like after certain attacks, there will always be a downtime, you know. Just like how when we do a big burst attack, we have to wait for like cooldown, you know. Once you use your wild bug skill, you gotta wait for the wild bug to return. Once the monster use their big attacks, it's like there's a downtime where they just allow you to damage them, and that feels really good. It's very much like it's very Dark Souls-esque, I guess. The best thing about, one of the good things about Dark Souls, and the reason why people will ask you to get good, is because there's a pattern to their attacks, right? Bosses in Dark Souls will one-shot you. Well, not one-shot, but like 2-3-shot you depending on your build. Well, one-shot you depending on your build, I guess. But there's always a pattern to it, right? Where they will use certain attacks, and after certain attacks, they're just gonna stand there and let you hit them, right? Those are like the opportunity moments, basically. So when you learn to dodge attack, basically you learn to dodge attack, and after dodging the attack, your reward is you being able to damage the monster, if that makes sense. So successfully learning the move of the monster allows you to dodge the attack so you don't get punished by being hit by the attack. But not only do you not get punished, you get a reward where, okay, you dodge the attack, and now your reward is you being able to hit the boss back, you know? There should always be a reward, right? A reward for a successful parry in Sekiro is you damaging the boss's stance so that you can build up stance damage for the big stab later on. It feels really good. Like learning patterns, being rewarded for learning the boss's attack patterns feels really good if you can like reap the rewards of it. And one of the things I don't like about Elden Ring is that usually when you learn the boss's move, rather than being able to reap the rewards, it feels like, oh, let's just say you fight Morgott, the first boss that you fight. He does this really big attack where he jumps into the air and lands, and basically you want to get the timing of dodging his attack, right? Once he jumps, you want to dodge his attack so that you don't get hit by the big splashing downward motion that he has. And the reward for learning that should be, oh, okay, I dodged your attack, I should be able to hit you now as part of the reward. But no, when you successfully dodge Margot's attack, if you try to hit him straight away, he does like an immediate counter to you. Like, you hit him and he immediately hits you back. And there's no way for you to dodge it because when you are hitting him, you are in an animation lock, right? You will get stuck in an animation lock, so you can't dodge it. You just get punished. So it feels like when you learn to dodge, or when you finally learn a boss's attack, rather than being able to reap the rewards of it, you're being punished for it. And that's what makes Elden Ring feels really shitty. Of course, that's like the added difficulty of it. I understand why they do it, right? Because they want to add difficulty where, oh, you think this is an opening? Guess again. You know, I tricked you. This is actually not an opening that you can take advantage of. You can only take advantage of a few openings, and this is not one of them. I understand why they do it. Right? The reason why they do it is to make the game more difficult, but it just doesn't feel good, if that makes sense. It doesn't feel good. I understand that they have to make the game more difficult, but it ruins the gameplay experience for me. I feel like for Monster Hunter, it's still acceptable. Maybe it's just my bias, but when monsters... basically the way that the game works is that you're kind of like trying to learn. You got to learn the counter mechanic, right? You got to learn to time the counter, so when the monster shoots you, you're supposed to counter the attack with your wirebug skill. But it's not like the wirebug skill has like a long counter duration, right? For the sword and shield, there's like maybe like a second time frame where the counter frame is actually there for you to counter. Probably less than a second. It feels like it's probably like half a second of a counter frame basically. So it's not like you can just use it straight away. You got to like know when to use it. So it feels like a lot of the game from Rise is about learning when to counter basically. It's just about like utilizing the counter, positioning yourself where the counter does the best damage. If you are sword and shield, for example, you want to position yourself right under the boss so that when you counter, you hit upwards and damages the boss all the way. If you are a switch axe, you want to position yourself in front of the boss so that when you counter, you slice through the boss entirely. And of course, each weapon has their own counter. But now, the difficulty for now is that they've ramped up the difficulty, right? Once you know that once you get used to countering bosses, now you got to know which attack to counter. So for Vincent Shagura Magala or for Valstrax, if you try to counter the beam, for example, the Valstrax beam does multiple hits, right? So if you counter the first hit, the beam that hits afterwards, the beam itself has a hit, and after that the ground will explode upwards, right? So if you counter the beam, the ground explosion will get you. So you can't counter, or at least you can't counter Valstrax beam the way that you would normally counter any other attacks, right? There has to be like another way to counter it. You got to like know what part of it to counter. So you might option that you might do is that you might dodge the first beam, and then when he does the second beam doesn't have like the ground damaging AoE. It's just like one single beam that flies towards you. So you gotta learn to dodge the first beam and then you counter the second beam, if that makes sense. So that's the added difficulty of the last few monsters, or like the endgame monsters in Sunbreak. And I feel like that's still fair, because it's like, it doesn't punish you for necessarily counter better, but like I feel like a lot of the attacks they have is still counterable. It's still you can still counter it through traditional method. It's just that you gotta learn to dodge like the few that can't be countered. It's kind of the same philosophy in Elden Ring, but I don't know. In Elden Ring, it feels a little bit different. It feels like most of the attack, if you try to attack them right after they miss you, you're gonna get punished for it, and it feels really bad. But for this one, it feels like, if I counter it, I get punished because I shouldn't counter this particular attack. But most of the other attack is still counterable. It feels like I think it's just a numbers game. I think it's just a numbers game for how from how good something can feel before it becomes not fun, I guess. If every single one of the attack was like Ralstrak's beam, it would probably feel really shitty. But if it's only a few attacks, like aside from Ralstrak's beam and maybe like some of the ground explosion stuff, it feels like 70% of the attacks is still predictable. That it still feels like a fair fight. Although it's a more difficult fight, it still feels fair. Or like it doesn't feel too frustrating. There's a level of frustration that happens from uncounterable attacks that eventually builds up, where it just doesn't become fun anymore. And for Sunbreak, it still feels like an acceptable amount, but for Elden Ring, it feels like an unacceptable amount. It just doesn't feel fun. I don't know how to describe it. I just don't like the gameplay of it. Sekiro is a harder game too, like that's the thing. Sekiro is a harder game than Dark Souls, but I like Sekiro. I actually think Sekiro is actually better than Dark Souls for me, just because I like the parry mechanic. But for Elden Ring is a harder game, assuming that you don't use summons. Elden Ring is a harder game than Dark Souls 3. It's probably the hardest game by far. Unless you have like a cheesy, but I don't know. I want to say Elden Ring is the hardest, but at the same time, Elden Ring kind of feels like it's the easiest as well, right? Because of the builds that you can have. If you play like what's it called again? There's like a night magic ability where, usually when you play magic, what happens is that the boss has input reading, right? So when you cast a magic spell, the boss dodges it. And this is one of the things why I think Elden Ring is just like an inferior game, because unless you play like a very cheesy magic build, like the night magic where the bosses can't react to it, it just feels like shit, right? It just feels like half the magic that you have is very easily dodgeable. Or like it's immediately like responded with input reading, right? Where they just immediately stab you afterwards. It's the same thing with the countering and stuff, right? After you dodge an attack, when you attack them, it feels like they input read you, and they immediately like hit you back when you're trying to like hit them after dodging their attack. It feels like shit. I'm sorry, this is like becoming like a ranting stream. Just because like there's a few games that I have so much gripe with. Oh god damn it, I can't. I mean, I still enjoy Elden Ring for what it is. I just feel like the gameplay feels worse than Dark Souls 3, that's all. I still enjoy the game, it's still a good game. Like, I complain about it, but like it's not like I'm complaining about it being oh man, this game is literally 2 out of 10. It's still a good game. It's just that once a game developer has made a good game, like Sekiro, I think it's a really good game. Once they have made a really good game, you can help but to compare it to their previous title and say how, oh, this is this is bad compared to what you made before. I'm excited to play the DLC though. Usually the DLC bosses are always going to be the best boss. In Dark Souls 3, I think the best boss is literally Medea and Slave Knight Gale, right? So in Dark Souls 3, the DLC bosses are definitely the best fight. Oh yeah, speaking of Medea, I think Medea is like one of a really good way to make dragons in I think Elden Ring failed to do. Basically, the problem with Elden Ring dragons is that you're kind of stuck chasing after it with a horse, and if you are not on a horse, you're fighting it normally because of how big the dragon is. You kind of just stab it. You're just kind of slashing at its feet basically the whole time. But for Medea is a big and intimidating dragon, right? But you're not just attacking its feet. Quite the opposite, right? Medea actually punishes you for attacking its feet, right? Because you do less damage to it. You're supposed to attack Medea on its head. And it's a very intentional design too, because when you lock onto Medea, you don't lock onto the body, right? You lock onto the feet. You don't lock onto the feet, you lock onto the head of Medea, right? It's like the game is telling you, yeah, you're supposed to hit the head, bro. So when you're fighting Medea, the way that Medea fight works is that he actually lowers his head down for you to hit it, right? I mean, obviously he's going to bite you with the head as well, so you can't just keep hitting it, but he kind of like lowers down the head for you to hit him. And the way that the body's positioned is that when you are fighting Medea, you can see the entire body, right? It's not like your screen only sees the legs and you can't see anything else. You can see the entire body and how he's gonna like swipe at you with his claw, how he's gonna like bite at you with his head. You know, you can see a very clear and telegraphed attack. If you hit the legs, if you attack Medea from the legs, you can't see shit. This is basically what you will see. You can see the legs and nothing else. So when Medea hits you or something like that, you just can't see the attack coming, right? And I think that's like the problem with the Elden Ring dragons is that when something is happening, you can't see shit half the time. And it feels really bad. It feels really bad compared to what they already have, because they already made a good dragon fight before. I think that's one of the gripes that I have with the game, is that they already made a good dragon fight. Medea was a really good dragon fight. But the presentation of it was really good though, not gonna lie. The dragon popping in the middle of the lake was really cool. Was really cool. I was gonna say awesome and I wanted to say cool, and I fused the two words together and said caw. I'm sorry. It was a really awesome fight basically. The presentation of everything in Elden Ring was actually really good. I like the spectacle of it. Some of the fight feels very reminiscent of like older fights too. Like fighting the Elden Lord. What was his name again? Oh god, I can't remember his name. Fighting the Elden Lord reminds me of fighting Slave Knight Gale. I do not know what is it. It's just the feel of it. The way that he attacks, the way he swipes, feels like Slave Knight Gale. So the Elden Lord fight was, the first Elden Lord fight was really good. It feels good. I would say that Margaret's fight is also one of the better ones. I don't mind the delay attack. The delay attack is just like I know a lot of people hate the fact that attacks are very delayed, but delay attacks to me always felt acceptable. It felt like, oh yeah, you shouldn't. It felt like it's a mechanic there to punish you for panic dodging, and I feel like that's a very acceptable thing. You shouldn't panic dodge. You should time your dodge, right? It trains you to be a better player. Oh, my bad. Other things I like about Elden Ring. I'm talking about it right now just because I know that the DLC is going to be released later this year, I think. So I think the build variety is probably something that is both like a pro and a con when you think about it. The pro is that you cannot play the game that you want it in the way that you want it, basically. So if you want like a more difficult game, so if you want like a more difficult game, you can just kind of play it using the old traditional Dark Souls build, where maybe you just have a hammer or a sword or something like that. You can do it without summons, you can do it without magic, and it will be like a harder fight. Or you can like build a super OP build where everybody just plays like two levels of everybody just plays like the bleed build and just destroy a boss in like 3 hits. And I think I like how it rewards our players aside from skill. I think when you're playing a game, making a good build should be rewarded with being able to do good damage, if that makes sense. I feel like some games is very skill based, like Sekiro for example. Sekiro is an entirely skill based game, so there's no build, right? There's no there's no particular build that you can make to make yourself super OP or super strong in Sekiro. It's just 100% skill based. You either just get good and learn to fight the bosses properly, or you just got to die. Which is why a lot of people will say like will consider Sekiro to be the hardest game, right? Because there's no way to cheese it. There's no way to cheese it. You just gotta learn to fight. But for Elden Ring, there's a lot of ways you can cheese the boss, right? And I don't mean cheesing like trying to abuse glitches. I mean cheesing in terms of like the type of builds that you can do. You can always just build. What was it called again? There's a magic called like Swarm of Flies or something that tracks the boss, and you pretty much build Swarm of Flies with the Bloodhound Step. That's the one, right? That's the one that allows you to dodge really far. So you build Bloodhound Step and you build Swarm of Flies, and you just build full magic basically. Whenever you see the boss about to hit you, just spam the shit out of Bloodhound Step, and the iframe of Bloodhound Step is insane. Because if you're not normally when you're dodging, you have like an iframe during the dodge, but you don't have the iframe all the way, right? So when you dodge, you have iframes, and at the end of the dodge, you can't immediately dodge again. You have to wait. There's like a downtime where you can't dodge again. So let's say if there's like for 1 second, there's like 60 seconds. When you dodge, you get like 20 seconds of iframe, and then you have about 10 to 20 seconds of non-dodging time that you cannot dodge anymore. And those are like the punishment frame, right? So if you time your dodge wrong, the punishment frame is where you're going to get hit by the boss. So you have to time it within like the 20 frame of iframe. And anything beyond that, if you time it too slow, you're going to get hit by the boss, right? And then the next row they can do is the 20 frames afterwards. So within a minute, within 1 second, you get to dodge. Am I out of something? I'm out of demon drugs. So within a single second, you get to dodge 1/3 of the time. And then the other 1/3, you're just not going to be able to dodge. So if you miss time your dodge, you're going to get hit by the boss. And then the other 1/3, you get to dodge. So if you dodge too early, at least you can kind of like re-dodge afterwards to compensate for it, I guess. But Bloodhound Step, the reason why Bloodhound Step is so OP is because not only do you have a long ass iframe, I think a normal dodge is like maybe like 15-20 frames of iframe in a single second, so like 1/3 of a second. Bloodhound Step feels like it's 40 frames. I don't have the exact data for it, but it feels like it's double the iframe of a normal dodge. So if your normal dodge has 1/3 of a second, a Bloodhound Step is 2/3 of a second. But that's not the only thing that makes it OP. The fact that after you dodge, the downtime between the first dodge and the second dodge is way shorter too. So if you do a normal dodge, you have 20 frames of dodging, you have 20 frames of not being able to dodge, and then you have another 20 frames of dodging in a single second. But for Bloodhound Step, once you dodge and you mistime it, like you dodge too early, the downtime from the dodge feels like, I don't know the exact data, that's probably something that did the frame by frame analysis to show you the actual numbers, but like it feels like it's like less than it feels like it's less than 10 frames. So if I dodge something, I get 40 frames of iframe, and then I get 5 frames of downtime, and then I get another 40 frames of iframe. That's kind of how it feels like to play Bloodhound Step. If you just spam it, you're not permanently but like almost in a permanent iframe state, that it becomes almost impossible for you to get hit. As long as you have stamina to spam it, of course. As long as you have stamina to spam it and mana to spam it, Bloodhound Step is walked with how much iframe you get. But that's what I mean by build variety, right? Is that if you want to make the game easier for you, you can play Bloodhound Step. If you want to play the game harder, you can just dodge it the normal way without Bloodhound Step. So I like that you can kind of have like a different build. It's the same thing for Monster Hunter, right? It feels like if I want to make the game a bit harder, I can build a more uncomfortable build that gives me more damage but lesser stuff, you know? Like if I want to, I can make the game super easy right now by building guard 5 and Golden 2 and Golden 3, tune-up 3, you know? Or I can make the game super easy by playing like E-Wait Window 5 or some levels of like comfort. Divine, you know, I can put like Divine Blessing 3 to make my character super tanky, so I can afford to get punished by the monster over and over again if I do a mistake. But the downside of it is that you are sacrificing damage. So, oh man, I did too much damage. Or you can just actually just build damage build and just play it normally too. I love playing it with it would suck really bad in Monster Hunter if you have to play without E-Wait window, because if I play the bow, for example, the bow's dodge box is super tight. Like maybe I'm just not that good at the game, but the bow's dodge box, for example, oh fuck. I saw the miss and I knew I was dead. The bow dodge box feels like it has the same iframe window as a normal roll in Sunbreak. So a normal roll in Sunbreak I think is 8 frames. I think it's 4 frames, right? If you're playing 30 FPS, so it should be 8 frames, like 60 FPS. So it's 8 frames from a normal roll, and the dodge bolt feels like it has the same iframe value. I think it was the same iframe value as a normal no E-Wait window roll, and it's just super tight. I just can't play it. Playing this game, oh god, no, I should just wire bug away. Fuck. I knew I was not going to bring up my weapon in time because it takes too long for me to bring out the weapon, so I tried to roll away. Rip. Sorry, I was trying to talk about like other games and I was trying to remember the values of other games and it's just very distracting. I kind of tune off my brain after a while because I don't know, it's just very repetitive. So eventually after a while you just kind of turn off your brain and think about other stuff as you let your mind wander. But even though you are thinking about other stuff, it feels like you still need like a modicum of focus to fight what's in front of you. It's kind of like driving a car, you know? Like when you drive a car, you don't have to focus on every single aspect of driving a car. You can kind of like listen to music, chill, and kind of get distracted a little bit. But if you try to focus on another thing, like texting somebody, you're gonna get into a car crash, right? This game is kind of similar, where after a while everything is just muscle memory, but you still have to focus enough to be able to play the game. Or else you're just gonna crash and rip. But man, like, title update 5 drop. This is pretty much the end of Sunbreak, huh? It's been a long journey. And I'm super excited for next year too, because next year is going to be the 20th anniversary of Monster Hunter. And I think a lot of people are anticipating that for the 20th anniversary is when they're going to announce the next title. That's why they didn't announce a new title this year, right? Because people are expecting the next title to be a special 20th anniversary thing. And because it's the 20th anniversary, people are expecting like big stuff coming up from them. The only new title that they released this year was like some mobile game, which I don't want to say like it's I don't want to call it like a bad thing, but like it's probably like a smaller title, right? It's obviously like not a big release. It's like Diablo releasing Diablo Immortal, you know? It's not like it's not Diablo 4, you know? But Diablo 4 is actually coming out this year too, so... Did Diablo Immortal get released this year? I don't think it's this year, I think it's last year, right? So Diablo Immortal 4 was... Diablo Immortal was last year, and Diablo 4 is this year, so... You can kind of see how a lot of companies, when they want to release a title, you can't just release big titles like this over and over and over again every year, right? Like, I think it's very unreasonable to expect Capcom to release Monster Hunter World every single year because those are big projects, right? I think it's probably closer or more reasonable to expect a title like Monster Hunter World to be released once every maybe 3 years? I feel like 3 years is like a reasonable time. Every year feels too unreasonable, you know, like that feels like there's not enough time for the game to properly be developed. But every 3 years feels like, yeah, that feels like about the right amount of time for them to develop a new title. I wonder how many games actually released in a 3-year cycle. What's the time frame between Dark Souls 3 and Bloodborne? And what was the time frame between Bloodborne and Sekiro, I wonder? And what's the time frame between Sekiro and Elden Ring? I feel like it's a 3-year time. Like 3-4 years? I feel like those are like reasonable times. So. And Monster Hunter World was released... it finished release, I think it was about 3 years ago, 2018? Was it 2018? I think it was 2018. And the people that made Monster Hunter Rise, I think it's the second team, right? The people that made Monster Hunter Rise is not the same team that made Monster Hunter World, right? So the team, once they were done releasing Monster Hunter World, they should be working on a new title, I think. Either that or they moved the team to help develop Sunbreak. I don't know. I feel like after World was released, there was like basically because when World was still being released, when Iceborne was still being released, that's kind of like when Rise came out. When Iceborne was still being released, right? Or like a little bit after that. There's no way that the team that made Iceborne could have made Rise in such a short amount of time, right? If I had to guess, they probably have two teams that is making the game, right? The second team made Rise, and the first team made War and Iceborne. And after War and Iceborne was done, they probably either relegate the first team to make the next title, or they relegate the first team to help the second team finish Sunbreak. I realize Sunbreak is a better DLC too. Base Rise had a lot of problems. I don't know how many people actually played Base Rise, but like Base Rise didn't even have Elder Dragons in it. That's just how bad it was. And only after Title Update 1 did they add the Elder Dragons, and Title Update 2 did they add like Nawa. So Base Rise felt really bad. In comparison though, for Sunbreak, the DLC, the title updates has been banging. Like the Anomaly investigation is super fun. I like the fact that Anomaly investigation makes it so that you have to hunt monsters that you don't normally hunt, which is really good, right? It gives you something to grind towards too. The end game for Sunbreak is like farming Anomaly stuff, which is way better than just farming talisman, because the endgame for Base Rise is just talisman. It's just talisman grinding, and it just feels really bad because once you get a good talisman, it's almost impossible to get the next good talisman, and you don't feel the improvement. But for Sunbreak, when you grind for stuff like you're going to choreograph your weapon. Oh, let me see if I can have a. What is a? Yeah, if you want to choreograph your weapon, let's see. Oh god, I don't think I have a... Like if you want to choreograph your weapon right now, each choreograph material that you grind gives you like a small incremental bonus, and that's what makes it good, right? That's what makes decoration farming good in War as well. Each time you get a new decoration that is better than your previous one, you get like 1 extra level of attack boost, 2 extra level of attack, 1 extra level of critical eye, and you feel yourself getting incrementally stronger. And that's what choreografting does. If you unlock this choreografting, you get like an extra 5 attack, and not only that, you can slot in extra. You can slot in an extra attack boost, and to give you an extra 5 damage. So it's like 10 extra damage. It's not a lot. But it feels like there's progress, right? The most important part about grinding is that you feel like there's progress being made, so it doesn't feel stagnated. And not only is the choreografting good for the weapons itself. Choreografting armor is like super RNG as well, but it feels good, right? It feels good when you craft something that is like super OP, and you got to craft 5 of them too. So it's like a very justifiable long grind, where it doesn't, you can't just do it and just get it done with. It's like a grind that feels, oh yeah, I got to dedicate some amount of time to this, and it feels like there's always like something to do. That's the best part about Sunbreak compared to Base Rise, is that there's always something to do, right? There's always more grind that you can do. There's always a better choreo. There's always a better choreo augments you can get for your armor. There's always like weapons that you can max out, and once you max out your weapons, you know, there's always like I think it's just about the armor. I think there's always better augments that you can get for your armor. Instead of just getting 1 mil of Hellfire, you could get a mil of Hellfire and a spare shot, you know, who knows? And you can make different sets too, because with how Sunbreak works, a lot of different playstyle becomes viable now. Like in the past, you just couldn't play the shield playstyle, but now you can, right? You can play the shield, you can play the elemental one. If you're playing gunless, you can even play like different gunless now. You're not just stuck to the normal gunless, because I think for the longest of time, the meta was that the normal gunless was just the best, because gunless shelling was gatekeep behind. That you couldn't level up the shelling level, so there's only like 3 weapons that was good, right? For the white gunlance, there was the corn popper, and for the normal gunlance, there was the Ragnakadaki one, right? That's the best one that you have in Sunbreak. And you were just stuck with that for the longest of time. But now, both white and long shelling is actually pretty good. I wonder if I can do one. I think I'll do one with Anomaly to see if I can do it. It's been a while though. I'm gonna mess up so bad. I'm gonna look so bad when I do this. I'll do one more fight. This is gonna be my last fight for the day, and then I'm gonna go off. I'm already done grinding. What's my grind right now? My Anomaly research level is 257, so I think I got almost 10 levels. I got like 8 levels, I think. 8 levels. Oh no, I ate... oh wait, no. I think that's fine, right? I think I just ate a bird collar and... Oh wait, no. If I ate that, I don't have... I got to go to an expedition to reset my dango. I think I ate the normal one. I need to add the bombardier one. Sorry, I'm still a bit out of it. If I mumble a lot and if I don't sound coherent, it's just because I only had 1 cup of coffee this morning, so I'm still a little bit drowsy, you know. I'm still a little bit tired. I stayed up quite late last night because I had to finish like another work that I'm doing, so I'm just like super not super tired, but like just super worn down from that. Which is why I wanted to make like today a shorter stream. I think on Friday night I will do a longer stream. Oh wait, but Friday night is Star Wars, right? It's Honkai Star Wars. I wanted to do a longer stream for Monster Hunter. Maybe I might do... I got to see if I have time. If I have time, I might do like a unscheduled stream on Sunday morning, where I just finish off a lot of the grinding and I try to play some of the new weapons, because there's a lot of new builds that has been like, there's a lot of new builds right now that's super viable that I want to try to make. This is my god. This is my god style gun lance. And this one uses the new Tempest armor, so I have to see how good it is actually. I haven't really tested it out too much. I tested it like 1 fight and it was okay-ish, but let's see if it's good. Oh no! Oh no! I forgot it was. Helicopter! Tail cutter. Popper. Tail cutter. Tail cutter. What? That's one way to do it. Sorry, I was confused for a second there because he suddenly stopped. I hope this gameplay is nice for you guys. I feel like I'm not doing the optimal rotation. Oh. Oh. I flew so far away, what? Oh. I shouldn't reload. I keep reloading because it's out of habit. But like, I have a hill cutter automatically reloads your ammo for you. So what I should have done is that I should have just hill cutter. I should have just hill cutter to reload my ammo basically. Rather than reloading my ammo normally, the whole point of hill cutter is that you want to be able to yeah, like right now, I use my ammo and I hill cutter. No! I need one of these. I need that wire back. Thank you. Okay. Oh, I completely missed that. Ooh. Oh. Rip. I tried to use the guard reload to block that, but I mistimed the tail whip. There's still a lot of things I have to get used to because this is a hill cutter playstyle. This is a hill cutter guard reload playstyle, which is completely different from the quick reload playstyle that I'm in. Which is completely different from the quick reload playstyle that I used to play. Oh no! Yeah. I knew I was dead. Yeah, I got to learn how to... Bro. Bro. Whoa. I guess I don't have guard up. I keep trying to use my hail cutter when I shouldn't be using my hail cutter. I deserve it, that's it. Let's be honest, I deserve it. I'm not used to this playstyle yet, so if it looks really bad, I'm sorry. I gotta remember to use guard reload to trigger the guard point so that I don't get hit by stuff. The whole point of guard reload is so that you can reload your extra ammo. But more importantly, this is like a new guard style because now you can finally fit all the required skills that you want into this. Tail cutter. Fuck yeah. 10 minutes. And 8 seconds. Oh man, I gotta get used to this playstyle. Oh, when I reverse blast to the head, I should... Yeah, this one's guard reload. I got to use my... Am I using guard reload? I can't tell. Yeah, this is the guard reload, I think. I got to use the guard point from the guard reload to proc the guard. Because this one is supposed to be a guard playstyle. So rather than trying to dodge everything using redirection and reverse blast, I want to take advantage of the guard more. That's why I built this guard playstyle. Nice. Right now it's still super scuffed just because I'm just not used to it. But like eventually I should get used to it as well. I gotta get used to hail cutter. I gotta know when to time my hail cutter. I keep trying to spam it. Hail cutter is better for this particular playstyle. I think hail cutter just does more damage than ground splitter because ground splitter increases the damage of your ammo by like 10%, 20%, something like that. It's really good, but look at the damage on hail cutter. It goes up. Look at that, 793, and oops. You want to have this on. Once you erupting cannon, the 793 becomes 969. Look at that. I don't think I crit on that. Let me try that again. Did I crit? Yeah, I think that's a crit, right? Yeah, that has to be a crit. There's no way that's not a crit. But it goes from 790 to 969. So it's like 1000 damage from a single hail cutter. That's really good. The thing about damages in this game is that as we kind of level up more, our damage, our weapon base attack has been increasing, but our shell damage has not increased since Sunbreak, right? Like, there's no way to increase that unless you are playing sneak attack. There's just not a lot of ways to increase shell damage. So our shell damage right now at this current title update is super weak, but our weapon damage is actually really high. Look at that, 1000 damage. Oh, it's because I proc Bloodlust, so I got the attack boost from Coalescence. So if I can learn how to use Hail Cutter, look at that, 1000 damage. If I can learn how to use Hail Cutter, I feel like that's the optimal way to play this game. And I can push my 6 minutes down to 5 minutes easily with this new playstyle. Because I'll just be doing more damage. It's just more damage per second. I just gotta get used to it, that's all. Once I'm done leveling my Anomaly investigation, I think I'll be showcasing the gun lens, because right now all 3 gun lens style is viable. I will be showcasing the long guard playstyle. I'll have like a normal playstyle right here. The normal gun lens from the Kamura gun lens, I think. The normal shell from Kamura gun lens using the ground splitter sneak attack playstyle. So there will be like a ground splitter. Let me just put it here. So there will be a normal sneak. There will be a gun lens normal shell sneak attack playstyle. There will be a long guard playstyle, and there's a wide guard playstyle. So I'm gonna be trying like all 3 different gun lens shell type and playstyle, which I'm super excited for. I just got to learn how to play them, that's all. It's nice that gun lens have such a large variety of playstyle now, compared to some other weapons where it feels like the alternative playstyle just feels super weak. Impact Foul is really weak. Elemental Foul is just too meta. Or at least, it's not about it being meta or not. I think it's just about it being viable. Impact Foul just feels like it does like 50% less damage. It's just not viable at all. The chainsaw, the pizza cutter playstyle is actually super good, although it's obviously less OP than the SAED playstyle. The shield playstyle is super comfy. Obviously it has less damage, but in return for having less damage, you just die less, right? You can consistently do damage, and I think that adds to it. Because when it comes to playstyle, it's not just about like the DPS of your weapon, it's also about the DPS uptime of your weapon. If you are playing a shield playstyle, you die less and therefore you have more uptime, right? And that's kind of like what you should think about. Whether sacrificing damage from a weapon gives you a higher survivability. The higher the survivability, the stronger the weapon is, I think. Both longsword is actually really well done. Like the new Harvest Moon is insane. And for the longsword, both playstyle, both Sacred Sheep and Special Sheep are both super viable too. It just depends on what you need. For Insect Glaive currently, well, there's not much of a different playstyle. Everybody will be using the diving Wyvern playstyle. I don't think the helicopter playstyle gives a lot of things. But for the first switch skill, instead of advancing round, you can actually play the Tetra Slash playstyle as well. What's it called again? There's like there's like another one. Aside from, yeah, here you go, Leaping Slash. You can either play this one where you can get the parry, or you can play the Leaping Slash where you can stay on the ground and do more damage. Both of them are viable, but they both feel pretty similar. I think for the Insect Glaive, what they wanted to do was that they wanted to make the Kinsect attack, right? They want to make the Kinsect attack viable, where as you are fighting, you're building up Kinsect and you cause like this Kinsect powder explosion thing. But that one feels really bad. Like, it just feels like it doesn't do a lot of damage. It's kind of like the impact file of the Charge Blade. I think it can probably do damage. Maybe now there's like a build for it, but back then, when I tried it, it didn't do a lot of damage. I might look up a build for it to see if the new build is actually viable or not. For bow, there's not much playstyle. You just dodge stuff. Some weapons are really bad because it feels like there's not a different playstyle for it. That's just it. For the bow guns, it's always just going to be like The different playstyle is just you using like different ammo types. That's about it. So there's gonna be like the element one, and then there's gonna be spread, pierce, normal. That's like that's just it. Normal is actually pretty good. I would say there's probably less. I would say that normal is viable. It's not meta where it probably does like 10% less damage, I guess. So it's very hard to justify using normal because like what does normal give, right? Spread is supposed to be a melee close range style and pierce is supposed to be a long range style, right? But what does normal give? Normal is supposed to be like a long range style, but then at that point you would just play pierce, right? And I think that's a problem with normal. I think normal is good for the there's this style where you play the crouching shot, and I think normal crouching shot actually does more damage. Normal crouching shot is actually pretty good. Maybe I won't say that it's not meta. I would say that you can play normal if you want. It's an alternative to pierce. If you don't want to play pierce, you can play normal. I just play pierce just because it's more easy, I guess. Like the damage uptime for pierce feels higher than normal. Because for normal, I think you have to hit the right hit zone, right? So if you are playing pierce, even if you can't see the weak spot, you know that the bullet is gonna go to the weak spot, right? Like let's say if you're shooting Camille's from the back, right? You're shooting Camille's ass, for example. Even if you play pierce, you know that the piercing shot will eventually reach the head and thus, you know, do the proper damage. But if you're playing normal, it feels like if you don't have like a good line of sight towards the weak spot, you have to reposition yourself every single time. If you're fighting one-on-one, I don't think that's the problem. But if you're fighting in multiplayer, it feels really bad because the heavy bowgun is just too slow for multiplayer. You just have to. Pierce is just like a better. Pierce and spread is just better for the heavy bowgun in multiplayer, just because you can constantly hit the weak spot. But normal, you can if you can't see the weak spot, you're just kind of like screwed. Repositioning is a pain. Lance is pretty good, but there's not much. Lance has the new guard, the new guard style. This new decoration for Lance, I'm just gonna like give a TLDR on like all the weapons for now. What they have. What is it? This new guard badge for Lance makes normal guard way more attractive because think about it. With Insta block gives you so many things, right? Well, for one thing, Insta block is a parry, it's a direct counter, so it's kind of like a wire butt counter where it nullifies all damage without any pushback. The second thing for it is that it once you counter with Insta block, it goes into the cross slash, which is an insane damaging skill. I think cross slash does like what 1,500, 2,000 damage. It's insane the damage from cross slash. If you use guard, so if you use a normal block, you can't proc cross slash, right? So it makes it so much weaker. But with the new guard bash, every single time the monster hits you and you are doing a normal block, you're dealing a little bit more damage to it, right? The guard bash actually adds viability for you to just use a normal guard instead of insta block, which is nice, right? Like it's nice that you can actually play like a normal block playstyle now. It makes it more viable. I would still say that insta block is still the way to go if you actually want to do damage. Guard will never. No, a normal guard, even with the new guard bash, just doesn't out damage insta block just because it gives you cross slash. It's 1,500 damage, right? But it makes it more viable. It brings it up a little bit, you know, so that it's closer to where it should be. For hammer, you can either play courage or you can play strength. I like both. Strength feels weaker just because when you are playing courage, the last charge, the level 3 charge of the courage hammer procs your dogs to do the big AoE dual chain swipe attack. But strength hammer doesn't do that. I noticed that strength hammer level 3 doesn't proc the dog's big attack for some reason. So just from that itself, if you're playing single player, you're losing out on like, I don't know, like 20 DPS. If I had to guess, like 20-30 DPS from your dogs. Basically your dogs is gonna go from doing 30% of your damage to like 10% of your damage. You're gonna lose like 20% damage basically. So that's all the... Oh yeah, and Dual Blade have like the new Virtual Koi, the new Risen Shagura Magala stuff, and that's awesome. It's actually viable for dual blades to play dragon conversion now if you want to build for dragon conversion. In the past, you don't have enough slots for it, right? Because if you want to build dragon conversion, you just have to build attack up. But now they can get dragon conversion on the talisman. You don't have to build an attack boost playstyle. You can build a critical playstyle and then just use a dragon conversion. Just choreograph the dragon conversion into your armor, or use the dragon conversion talisman and choreograph Furious into your armor. So it's actually super viable to do dragon conversion or dual blade now. In the past, it's not viable just because you don't need the attack boost, right? You need the crit, right? You want to max out crit, and then you want to get like crit element and all that kind of stuff, right? But now you can kind of do that now. I think I still like the Mill of Hellfire style with the 2 Vicentragram Magala piece, so that I can proc the Frenzy Bloodlust. I think I still do this actually. I think I can build Dragon Conversion and have 2 levels of Frenzy Bloodlust for the new set. There is like a infinite stamina thing that you can build with the temple set, where you get 3 pieces of the Amatsu armor and get infinite stamina, infinite sharpness as well. So that could be viable, but I think you will lose out on so much damage that I don't think it's worth it. I don't know. I gotta try it. But not having Frenzied Bloodlust, when you use the Amatsu set, you cannot have because the Amatsu is going to be armor, glove, and shoes. So you cannot have your Frenzied Bloodlust to have your extra wire bug with you if you take the Amatsu set, which is really sad. Well, it's probably intentional, right? They don't want you to mix Amatsu set with the new Vicentragram Magala set, because that would probably just be too OP. Sword and Shield is anything new. Sword and Shield, because now you have the Bloodlust, you can just get 1 extra wire bug, so you can counter more with Sword and Shield. It's going to be similar to how you build this thing, how you build your dual blades. Basically, it's going to be this. It's going to be this particular one. Wait, it's going to be this build. Here we go. It's going to be this build. But just move it for the Sword and Shield. And I think that's all the weapons, right? Hunting Horn became even more viable now. Because you just get extra slots, you know, so you're just going to be putting the same thing. You're still going to be playing the Dragon Conversion playstyle, which is going to be this one, I think. Yep. You're going to still be playing the Dragon Conversion playstyle, but you actually like max out. You can actually max out more more element resistance to increase your elemental damage. You can I don't think you need the extra wire bug. I don't think the extra wire bug is needed. They gave a buff to Hunting Horn too, where your skill bind shockwave actually has the increased duration. It's insane. Like, I feel like they needed that, not gonna lie. I feel like they needed that. It's not gonna increase the damage to any insane amount, but like, it's just a more viable playstyle. It's still gonna be the weakest. I think Hunting Horn is probably still the weakest out of all of them. There's not much change to Greatsword. They made the Surge Slash playstyle viable now. So if you want to play multiplayer, you can just spin to win rather than constantly with your strong arm stance. And I think that's it. That's all the weapons. That's all 14 weapons for the new title update 5. I'm super excited to try all the weapons. I just got to grind my Anomaly Investigation level to 300, and once my Anomaly Investigation level is 300, I'm going to start building each individual builds. Because by that point, if I'm only level 300, I would have enough of the new materials to just like unlock all the stuff. I'll probably have to farm the Vicentragram Magala stuff a little bit more, because I don't think... Actually, I think I do have enough, right? It's just 2 per weapon. So if I'm playing 14 weapons, that's 28 that I need to unlock the 7th level for 28 different weapons. Yeah, I think I have enough. And I did crafted my decorations too. For the attack jewel, I did crafted 2 attack jewel and 3 critical eye. I don't need 3. I crafted the 3rd one because I think I needed it for a very niche build that I made for one thing that I probably won't be using. So yeah, with all the things done, I'm super excited to see what new builds I can make with the new title update stuff. So I'm still theory crafting how to make some of the sets that I want to make. And for the other sets, well, there's other people out there that mains the weapon that's way smarter than I am that would eventually make a set. And I would just look at what they have to say about it. A lot of sets have like very specific damage calculations that needs to be done, you know, like is Dragon Conversion 3 better than Mirror of Hellfire 3, for example? Like there's a lot of math that's involved, and I just don't know how to do it, or I'm just too lazy to try to do it. Unless you like know all the information beforehand, it's just a lot of complicated math that I'm just not gonna get into for all 14 different weapons. So somebody else will do the math, and I'm just gonna play it and I'm just gonna see like, oh wow, I cleared this monster in 6 minutes, but with this new set, with the math done, I cleared in 5 minutes, something like that. So, alright, and with that, that's today's stream. Hope you guys enjoy. That's pretty much the farming that you guys can kind of replicate. Oh yeah, I will show the set one more time to for the people that want to replicate it. Is this a set? Did I change it? Oh, I didn't change it. My bad. A shield will be taken out for attack boost 2, and I will take out 1 iron wall for 1 shield up. I guess. I don't know if I need it. I'm just gonna put it there for now. I can choreograph my armor a little bit better, like this one. I guess I don't need it, or I can use a more OP talisman. I guess I can farm something better to replace these things eventually. And let me just replace this set. All right. This is going to be how the set looks. This is the equipment. How do I see what gems I put into it? Because somebody asked me the questions of what gems I put into stuff, so this one uses fire attack 3, coalescence, and recoil down as the decoration slot. This one uses attack boost and fire attack 2. This one uses embolden level 4 gem, embolden 2, spirit bird core, and reload speed decoration. And this one I think is 2 levels of level 2 spare shot. Oh, and 1 reload speed. And this one is going to be guard level 2, burst level 1, and element exploit level 1 for the decorations. And these are the choreograph. God damn it. Here we go. And that's it. The talisman is attack boost 3 and 2 3 and 1 level 2 to 1 level 3 slot for you to put guard level 3, which I then change up to guard up and guard level 2. And that's it. And that's it for today's stream. Hope you guys have a good day now. See ya. Bye.